Want to welcome everyone to this episode of the Texas Toast, and I'm super excited for our guest. I've been awaiting his arrival and preparing for it, but welcome to Matt Castillo. Hello, Matt.
How are we doing?
I'm doing great now that you're here. I have so much to talk about, and normally I kind of do like a timeline, but we're going to start off with the success that you're having with Leaving Brownsville Tonight. It's like what, 9 weeks on the chart. You're already in the 40s. You're getting spins everywhere. And of course, that's from your current album, How the River Flows, which we'll get to that. But Leaving Brownsville Tonight's just that I'm gonna go dancing kind of song.
Yeah, we started off with we had a big game plan coming in for this new sound based off my last album. So we kicked it off with "Say It" and "Say It's Again in Your Face," kind of honky tonk. We haven't heard in a while, and we wanted to follow it up, kind of go against the grain of kind of what radio wanted. And I'm one of those who take a chance. So I thought Leaving Brownsville was just so different and unique in its own little way. I figured what way to stand out than to have this song out on radio. So that's been pretty awesome to see the feedback. And, it's going to take a while for people to kind of jump on it because it's something brand new to them. Their ears are not familiar to hearing. It's back. This is something that has some nostalgia of the 90s, but everything like that is coming back. So I'm happy with the success it's getting, the momentum we have behind it, and hopefully we'll make it another, top 20, top 10 single.
I have no doubt. I mean, looking at how it has moved up so fast. And speaking of your 90s kind of style, I mean, that's immediately what I picked up on your music like 8 or 10 months ago when I was introduced to it. It does sound 90s, but you kind of have your own flair. Like there's something that's a little bit different.
That's the first that I've heard. Growing up, not gonna lie, growing up, my mom introduced me to country music, and I was listening to a whole lot of Garth Brooks and anything that was 90s that the radio stations were playing, and anything that my mom loved, I loved, And so it's just one of those deals. So I hopefully it has a reflection of what I'm doing now. I owe it to country music because of my mom, and she was a reason why. So hopefully the music that I'm playing is kind of a reflection of what I really love, because I really love 90s music. I love going after those deep cuts. I love just everything about that sound. And so I'm hoping that on this EP that we're going to become, that's coming out, and you guys are hearing right now, has gives an overview of who I am as an artist. Because every song that you're going to hear on this EP coming out is going to be totally different. Each song has its own place, and I just love the artistry behind it. I think taking chances on some music, songs, the way we approach it it's a risk taker, but it's a music business. You just don't know if it's going to hit, if it's not. But so far, we've had some good success with these songs, and I hope we're able to just continue that momentum with Leaving Brownsville Tonight.
Absolutely. Well, you've had a lot of success. You were even back in 2018, 2017 nominated at the Texas Regional Radio Music Awards for a couple of awards there.
Yeah. And I've had a couple of opportunities and to build up those accolades a little bit, but it's just good to be recognized by everybody in the music scene, being so far in South Texas where, I was raised down in the Rio Grande Valley. I was at the music awards this past weekend. Everybody knew my name.
Yes.
Everybody knew who I was. And you have to understand, being so excluded from everybody in Texas, because we're on the south border, you don't really get to hang out with a lot of musicians. You don't get to hang out in the music scene. All we have really is just social media. But until you meet in person, it's like, man, okay, you're that guy, And it's just so funny how it all comes together. But everybody knows who I am, and that's great. It's just how do we keep it going, But yeah.
Well, when you were talking about your single "For You" that charted a few years ago, you also had like 100,000 streams on that song.
Yeah, I think I got pretty lucky on that one with those amount of streams. But again, that sound, that song compared to "Say It" and "Leaving Brownsville Tonight" and what we're going to come up next for radio is just totally different. And I just love it. I just love it's a clean start, something new, something different. I think growing up and listening to Garth Brooks albums from start to finish, I just love the idea of the whole project and how each song was different. And also like George Strait. George Strait has his honky tonks, but he also has his deep cuts, and he has his country blues, Texas swing. He just adds it all in there and gives it his flair, like you said. And that's all I'm trying to do is trying to create who I am as an artist and find out what that is, because I think it's very hard early on to figure out who you are.
Mhm.
And the quicker you can find that out, the quicker you can kind of hone in on that and fine tune it. And so that's all I'm really trying to do. And I hope through this music, it really reaches a lot of people, because the lyric writing that we were going after and even the melodies, I just hope that, one, I don't bore you with my EP, and two, that you guys really love it.
Well, and you wrote, and that's the how the river flows, right? That's what we're referring to right now, or another
Right,
one.
yeah. So the EP. So post before all this COVID stuff happened, I was going to release a full album. I was going to release 12 songs. Naming it "How the River Flows" and the title track to that. But with everything that has gone on, obviously we're kind of limited as an independent artist and band. Majority of our revenue comes from shows. Uh,
Right.
and a little bit of merchandise. But when you don't have many of those, you have to kind of take some steps back or just wait a little bit, sitting and waiting. So we thought it'd be a pretty cool idea to just release a single at a time, and then once everything was in place and we thought we were in a good spot, then we were going to release an EP at least. So the the idea is just kind of build some shelf life to the music, because a lot of people just will hear one song, hear for a few months, and then it's gone.
Right. And that's so important. I mean, I look at over the years watching artists develop from the beginning, and the ones that were consistent with their music, constant with their songwriting, constant with releasing, constant with their shows, boom, there it is. And we could name so many names. We know the names in that group that's grown from generation to generation. But speaking
Yeah.
of songwriting, you're a songwriter as well.
Yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it. And
Hmm.
lately, it's been kind of not using it. I'll be quite honest. My focus has just been make sure that this project fires away the way it's supposed to, the attention that it needs. Not only that, but shows, getting ready for shows. We've added some wonderful people to the team, and I just want to make sure that I give them my full attention, so that when they're on board, they feel part of the team and part of the family. Because it's more of an investment down the road of a family, and finding the right guys to stick with you through thick and thin. Because again, going back to the what we dealt with this last year, that's a big challenge, and
Absolutely.
I'm very proud of my guys that stuck it out and stuck around. I always kept telling them, look, it's not going to last forever. This is just something we have to go through. Keep the faith, don't lose motivation. I promise you, we're going to get on the road, and we have been, and I'm very blessed for that opportunity. And so I'm hoping that um, whoever we bring on is part of the ride. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Speaking of getting on the road, I know that you're part of our TSE Entertainment team, and that was when I first previewed your music. So you have some shows coming up?
Yeah, we have one tonight in Cheatham Street Warehouse.
Yes. Oh, great place.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yes.
adding, and like I said, adding to the team, and growing the band, we're gonna have pedal steel and accordion tonight. So we're gonna have a total of 6 players in the band.
Oh, wow.
I'm excited about. So we're gonna test it out, because when that EP comes out, they're gonna get a little taste of some accordion and some pedal steel, some real good country music
Oh,
that
I love it.
I
Love it.
having it's going to be our first show with all of us together, so I'm kind of anxious, a little nervous.
Oh, it's like happy birthday, Merry Christmas. Here we go.
Exactly, a long time coming, but again, working with TSE and them, uh, giving me some shows, I want to make sure that I bring the best show possible for them, and because it's a reflection of who you guys are and who TSE is, and as an artist too. So I think teamwork makes the dream work, and again, having them as part of the team has been very great so far. So no
Oh, yeah. Quite a team, quite a family we are. And as far as your live shows, what does your set list consist of?
country music and more country music. No,
Hmm.
I've always loved having a high energy show from start to finish, take you on an experience. I know that sounds cheesy and cliche, but we kind of want to kind of pop you in the mouth real quick to kind of give you attention, and then trying to keep it throughout the whole entire set. And then, so it's high energy, it's fun. We try to make you a experience. We try to leave you with one. And so we're still trying to figure that out with new music coming out. So as new music comes in, old music gets pushed out. So we're trying to find that equal balance of just how do we make people feel great, make them want to drink, make them want to have a good
Dan
time.
and you're definitely dancing music.
Exactly. And it was kind of hard because with these, social distancing things and tables, you really can't dance. So you don't really know if your song is really hitting it like it should. You don't know if it's really toe tapping. But now that it's kind of opened up 100%, we've seen some people dance and they're dancing to the new music. So I know it's working. So it's just keep trucking, keep trucking, keep trucking.
Wow, I'm so excited for your show tonight. Oh, just to be back out and I'm like just so ready for some live music myself because I always have my picks and I have to go here or go there. And that has been tough, really tough
Yeah.
because it's such a bonding experience when you go to a live music festival or just a small show at a venue and you just walk away and you feel better. And I appreciate you so much as an artist and a musician and a songwriter wanting to make sure that you show up and you deliver to the audience. And it sounds like to me you go above and beyond. I can't wait to pick up on one of your shows. We just formed a partnership with Zilker Belts, and I know that you already have an established relationship with them.
I love their belts. I found out about them during COVID, and I've heard about them a long time ago. And we reached out to them and said, "Hey, I really love what you guys are doing. I know you guys are from Austin." And so they sent me a belt, and I've been wearing that belt. And then I went to go buy some other belts, and because I love supporting small businesses. I'm not the type of guy that wants everything for free. I don't deserve that. I think they work hard for their belts. I just love the inlays, the designs that they make. I just love how some of the coloring matches what I'm trying to wear, depending on the pant or the top. And it's so diverse. You can use it so many ways.
They are great in that I like the idea that they also support some very awesome nonprofits.
Of course. And those dog collars, I was going to get to that. I was like, I have matching dog collars now with my
Oh,
dog.
they had those. That is too cute.
I thought that was awesome. So we wear it to the ground. Like I'm actually wearing it now.
Let's see that. Check it. See, look at that craftsmanship. Love it.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I wear it every day. Honestly, these are my go-to belts. I'm not gonna lie. I love just the different colors that you can kind of mix and match with your clothing and stuff. But yeah, if I'm not wearing it on stage, I'm wearing it off stage. Somebody can like, hey, you wearing a Zilker belt?
So kind of going back to your roots, what was it like? You grew up in Edinburgh?
I sure did.
What was it like there? Tell me about like, activities or different things that you did just to kind of get on the personal side. I'm at Castillo.
Well, you know what? Being born in Austin, Texas, and living up here, and living also in Austin and in Edinburgh, Texas, I had the fast-paced life up here in Austin, the big city. Your friends were really close to you. In your neighborhood, you go to your buddy's house next door, and you'd be fine. Down in South Texas, everything was well spread out. You had acres of just farmland. Your friend was, maybe a mile down the road instead of right next to you. So I got to enjoy and experience both sides. And what I loved about Edinburgh was that it was very family oriented. Like my family down there always got together. We always did holidays and New Year's and anything to celebrate, we would celebrate. Um, Playing baseball down there, I played baseball here in Oak Hill, and I was really good. I think all-star teams and all these things.
Oh, I'm baseball girl. Awesome.
Yeah, and
Good
so
for you.
my grandpa was an umpire in our hometown of Edinburgh, Texas, and was a well-renowned umpire to where he has his own baseball field that we're really proud
Oh,
of. So those were the roots kind of run deep in there, and they kind of um, it was just different. It's big, but it's small. If that makes sense. I always think that Edinburgh is a small town. We're huge. We're growing all the time, but everybody knows everybody still. Everybody
yes.
knows business.
Well, I was fixing to
It's still
say
real
when you,
small.
when you said small, because it was probably about a couple of years ago, we were on a trip heading down to South Padre, and we went through Edinburgh, of course, to stop and do a restroom break and grab a snack, and then I needed to find a liquor store, and everybody there was so nice. Like we ended up going to 3 or 4 different stores, and then finally got to the liquor store and went in and visited with the gentleman in there, and it was like then we were down the road, but everyone was so nice. But it's big. It's
It is. It is big. Graduated college from there, University of Texas Pan American. Go Bronx.
oh
It
yeah.
took me a while to graduate, but I just went to college. But what I'm saying is that we have a college. We have a college. A lot of people go down there to go get whether it's a medical degree of some sort, business degree. Like we're big. We're big and we're known. It's just trying to get on the map. Like I said, we're so excluded from everybody. All the big cities, everybody is just. It's so hard to make it in the music scene down there because of just the lack of resources that have, the lack of venues that we don't have. Um, I wish that I wish people supported more songwriters and their craft
Yes,
and having original
absolutely.
music. But I get it. You can't change everything. And but I am very proud of that town. It's always been a dream of mine as well to represent the Rio Grande Valley and represent Edinburgh. I've lived there for over a decade or more, and uh, and I just hope that one of these days when I come into town, it says home of Matt Castillo. That'd be a great
Yes,
thing.
yes.
I claim both. Honestly, I claim Austin and I claim the Valley, and they both represent different things to me. When you're talking about your roots and where you come from, Edinburgh it is. It's I am not who I am without them. Austin is my hometown because of my mom. My mom lived here. She still lives here. I still help her. I work with her. She's the reason why it gave me this passion to do country music. She's the reason why I'm a hard worker. She's the reason why I do everything for her. So both, I'm proud of both. So when I say I'm from Austin, I'm really representing my mom and who she is. And in the Valley, it's my roots. So I have a complicated story. I'm telling you, it's going to come to life on this EP, on this album. Actually, we're doing this kind of mini documentary that everybody can understand who I am and why my upbringing was kind of difficult, maybe complicated, maybe mom had to give one up to save one, and we're going to tell that story in a short period of time, just so everybody knows who I am.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, I'm like kind of speechless. I gotta get composed. There's just, yeah, you're gonna have to do some editing, Kyle. But yeah, that's beautiful because it doesn't matter how old you get. There's something about those hometown roots, and that's why I think I just got so consumed with you talking and thinking and remembering my hometown. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I
all
think I know
right.
who you are.
All right, so let's stay in touch. And I'm so glad you joined us. It's so good to see you face to face and to get to know you. And I'm definitely going to get to a show. I've got to get out. I got to get
No.
off the water and quit fishing and get out of town and go see some shows, especially come see a Matt Castillo show. So I always like to ask one last question before I dismiss you, Matt. If you were a cocktail, what would you be?
Old fashioned.
Boy, we're going to have to start keeping tally, producer Kyle, because old fashioned right now is in the lead for all of the podcast guests that we've had so far.
Really?
Well, thank you so much, Matt. And I'm going to be keeping up with your single that's charting, and we do like a recap once a week. So I'm
Yeah.
going to throw that in, and we highlighted and spotlighted it last week. So anyway, thank you so much.
Anytime you need me back on here, just give me a call. I'd love to see you guys again.
I'll do it and have fun tonight.
I will, I promise. I'll
Thank
see
you,
you
Matt.
soon. See ya.
Thank you.